Today we are going to talk about to have the best coat care for the show horses. Okay, first I use a hard brush to brush the coat. I start always by the neck. If there is any dust, then it will come up now. Then I have a little soft brush that I use to make the coat go flat. My next step will be I use a coat conditioning spray for shine. For the manes I will spray about from a distance from 30 to 50 centimeters to not have it slack on the hairs that it looks greasy. Tail the same from a distance. In summer we use fly spray to protect the horse from flies, any kind of animal. It's the same, we spray from a distance. We spray also under the belly. I take a little bit in my hand for the face. I don't slide it over, I just dab it on the face. Then with an oil paper I make the coat shine. I always start from up to down to not go against the hairs. For the hoofs, if the horse has a little bit of white, we use powder. Then I use a soft brush to make it uneven, that you don't see that it's a line, that it looks all natural. And for all the hoofs, if they have powder or no powder, I use the oil paper to make them shine again, that they are black. Unless the horse is white, then it will be white hoofs. Then I use for the mane and the tail a hairbrush to make that everything goes nicely next to the neck of the horse. I brush the forelock. I use gel to keep the short hairs from the manes to lay flat together with the rest, so that when the horse is moving it doesn't stick out. So I go on the back side and I do carefully sliding that all the small hairs will be together with the rest. As last I do the face. I take a clean oil paper, I put the forelock always on the side, behind the halter. I start with the eyes. Then I do the nose. And then as last I have the makeup. With makeup it's very important that you don't make lines, that you blend out very well. I will show. You put a little and you follow the eye. And then you make sure that you blend it out. That everything looks as natural as possible. If you cannot do with your hands, you can use the towel. I will show it on the other eye. Instead of with the hand, you use the towel to make it look all natural. Same for the nose. I start always on top. Then I go to the side. Then I go to not make the line, but smooth it out, that it all looks natural. Same on the other side. And again, if you like, you can always do the ends with a towel. Then you have no line. Then you create all the natural look from the horse. And then as last, we will put on the show halter. I use one hard brush to groom the whole horse to get the dust free. After I use a brush that is middle between hard and soft to get the dust off. Then I spray the horse with World Peppy Champion. It's a spray to make the horse shiny. After we use a piranha spray. It's a fly spray for any kind of flies, animals that are annoying the horse. We call it oil paper, but you buy it at the supermarket for babies, but with oil instead of with lotion for the shine. For the legs, we use baby powder. You can also just buy in the store. For the manes, I use gel that you can use, that you buy for yourself, also in the store. And as last, I use Champion Shine On. You can buy it we buy it at the show for the Arabians.
Grooming. Start with a hard brush and work your way from the top down to remove all dust and dirt from your horse's coat. After the first brush, flatten your horse's coat with a soft brush. Do this from the top down as well. Use conditioning spray to add shine to your horse's mane and tail. Apply the spray from a distance of 30 to 50 centimeters away to avoid excess substance that might cause the hair to look greasy. Use fly spray in the summer to protect your horse from flies during the hotter months. Take care when applying it to the horse's face. Use powder on horses with white hooves to exclamate the white color. Work around the surface with a soft brush to spread the powder unevenly, giving it a more natural appearance. Flatten the short hairs on the mane using regular hair gel. Before applying makeup to the eyes and nose, clean the horse's face with soft, damp facial wipes.
When I clip the full body of a horse, I prefer not to. So we work a lot on grooming to make the horse really smooth and shiny and short-haired. But like this color, that is not white but almost, normally when you clip, the color becomes a little nicer and not as spotty as this. So this color, normally I clip with a 10 blade. I have explained you the blades. If a horse is a snow white, chestnut or bay, we use the 8. It hardly takes anything away, but it makes it look clean because they're a little more hairy, like on the belly or on top of their hip. So then it looks polished again. And on dark gray horses, we use a 15 blade that clips a little shorter. And then you get a more distinct color, like with apples on. So we try to clip with different blades depending on also the skin color, because some horses have very black skin So when you clip a white horse with black skin and you use a blade too short, the skin will shine through and the mare will look gray instead of snow white. So it's no fairy tale anymore. It's a mare that you can see this is clipped, and it's just clipped and it's not pretty. So again, we try to make it look natural but polished and prepared. Come. So I'm going to show a few lines, because when you body clip it's easy. You just clip against the hairs. So, and you also start on a place that's easy for the horse. Some of them are ticklish underneath, like here. And some of them are a little worried up here. She's not. But here is normally an area where you scratch and they like. So usually I always start to clip here. And I'm not gonna clip the whole horse now, but I'm gonna show you a few lines that can be difficult. So like the line of the mane, you need to be careful, because if you cut pieces of mane by mistake, the mane is going to grow out in a few weeks and it's going to stand up and it's going to look horrible. So I need to be sure that I take away the mane and clip just the hairs, the long hairs away. So I clip a line. You see my finger put the mane away each time, and then I just take the woolly hair that's sticking out. So this I do on the whole line of the mane. And once I have that line, then I can clip. Then it's not a big deal. I don't need to be so cautious. But up here, it's super important that I don't take mane away. It takes a full summer to recover mane that want to grow out before it lies down. So that's an important part. Also, when I clip between the ears, I like to protect the forelock. So I always put my finger on the forelock. And they have often a whirl here. So the hair is growing every direction, so you need to be really cautious when you need to turn your machine. This is also when you practice to put the head down of your horse. When you clip, it's very practical. So when I put her head down, I can see what I do. So we teach all our horses this, and when we clip them, it's far easier than when her head is up here. I need to hold her forelock and I need to try to clip something I don't really see. So put the head down is good for many things actually. So here, normally you have a whorl behind the ears, so the hair grows upwards and then it grows around and downwards. So first you need to protect the forelock, clip against the hair in the whorl, and then when the whorl turns, you clip the other way. So. And also the back of the ears, you're clipping, also with a 10. And all the time I hold my thumb here. Anyone who has ever clipped the forelock away will do this. It's not a nice sight. So then you have a nice line here of mane. And then you can just clip the rest of the neck against the hairs. So, also here, when you clip the elbows, many horses are ticklish here. And when you clip here, they have wrinkles. And they are sensitive here. If you have luck, you can, if you have bad luck, you can pinch the skin with your clipper. So a good thing is to lift the foot, because then you stretch the skin here. So then you can easier clip without pinching her skin with your blade. And then you avoid the lines, because if you have wrinkles, it's very hard to get between those. So then you have a smooth clipping here too. And for the rest, you just clip the whole horse against the hair everywhere. And then I'm going to show you how you clip at the tail, because we do a little triangle, so I'm going to turn her. So here on the tail, I try to just make a little triangle like this. because then the tail root comes naturally into her coop. If you cut this off straight, it looks very odd and unnatural. So in this way you don't really see where the tail starts. So you always do a triangle here. So, and for the rest you just continue clipping against the hairs. So, good.
Body clipping. Use a number 8 or 10 blade when clipping the hair on white or light colored socks or hoofs. Trim the feathers around the hooves using a number 8 blade regardless of the color. The two most important factors to avoid making a mistake on is the mane and the forelock. In the event where these two are clipped by mistake, the hair will stand in the air when growing back and will immediately be evident to even the untrained eye.
And I will show you on this mare how we do with white legs. Because even if the legs are not very hairy, we always clip the socks for the show. And I clip the sock with a 10 blade. We have already talked about the different lengths of blades. Because when I clip the socks only, it's easier to make them snow white. So we clip the socks, then we scrub them clean for the show, and then we chalk them. So that the white on the legs is going to look snow white. And it's also look cleaner at the hoof. It looks more polished. So we always do that. And what I do, I just clip up to where the sock ends, like this. So I'm going to clip one of them now that you can see the difference. And again, each time you clip, you need to be cautious when you touch, that you always touch first once with a finger. It always makes it easier for the horse. It's less likely they will spook, so that you touch with the corner of the clipper, because then they will be more sensitive with the legs. So I always first touch and then make sure to touch with the whole blade, not digging with the blade. Then you have both markings and lines, plus it's not comfy for the horse. So it's easier to have her restless when you clip. And it makes it easier, of course, to clip if you first make sure your horse is used to be touched everywhere, like we do with the young horses. That it's no worry for her that someone comes on her legs. So if she's sensitive to your hand or to a brush, of course this will not be very easy. So you can prepare her for clipping by just getting used to touches on her legs. And also, if there is no sock, if it's full colored leg, we still cut the feathers off, that the hoof looks, the leg looks polished and clean, that it's not hanging a lot of hair. So that we clip off, no matter the color of the leg. And if there is no marking, it's all colored, I can take the 8 blade still. This is a 10 now, but just to show, just to cut off what's sticking out at the hoof. That is not looking hairy, then you have a clean line once you go to the show. But this now, when it's short, when we scrub this leg, like Stephanie showed you when she washed, you can make it really snow white. And this looks okay, but once you see the difference, when it's really, really polished and clean and chalked, the whole impression of the horse is totally different. So every little detail makes a whole difference. So that's the feet.
When clipping the socks on a darker colored horse, feel free to use up to a number 15 blade. Ultimately, choose your blade length based on a combination of the color of the coat as well as the horse's skin color. Thanks for watching Lesson 8, Brushing and Body Clipping. Keep in mind that all should be about highlighting the natural beauty of the horse. Remember to clean the horse before applying any makeup and finishing spray. Clipping will be much easier if you train your horse to be touched and clipped.
Unmatched passion. Those are the words that come to mind when talking about Marieta Salas. Her love for Arabian horses started about 60 years ago and never wavered.
I was 14 when I saw an Arabian horse. I was completely impressed by 11 little mares, all alike. They were Congo daughters. This was in Jerez, in Spain.
Year after year, Ses Planes has produced endless gold champions, and some of them became worldwide legends. Marieta is not only an excellent breeder, she is also a dreamer. She dreamt about a world where Arabian horses are seen as life companionship and not simply a means to an end, where everyone will be able to see that the true beauty of an Arabian horse lay in his soul, and not only on their pretty heads.
The first time a foal was born, that is my special moment. Because, okay, when you win prizes is nice, but it comes and goes. So when you see a foal, a baby born, this is what impresses me, or what I like most about Arabian.
Marieta Salas and her ganaderia Ses Planes are proud to offer to the world the second masterclass of Johanna Ullstrom.